What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lambo Place podcast. This is episode number 45, UFC Vegas 69. I'm your host, Narco Cop, and I'm joined by my co-host, Timothy Troiano. What is up, Timothy? Are you ready for this UFC Vegas 69 card that kind of sucks?
I am. These are the ones that I'm usually scared to shit of to bet. I've literally got like two legs of a parlay that I did with tennis, and like one bet right now. That's all I have as of right now. But usually these stayaways, we can hit some good props, and hopefully we can do that again.
All right, let me go over to Chad. Shout out some people out there. It is Philip. What is up? He's the first one in the house. Rob Lawrence, time to make some serious money. Yes, sir. Thank you for the respect. Mike Z, let's go. Joshua Frick, Narco. I think Narco made a comment here. Tim is making his way home from purchasing Tomahawk steaks. Okay. Daz, what is up, my friend? Be fun card to watch. Hopefully it's at least fun. Victor De Jesus, what's up, Narco? Tim and Chad, let's get those Lambo plays. Yes, sir. George, Narrative Nation in the house. And Landon, let's fucking go, baby. 23 of you in here so far. Let's kick that number up. Please hit the like. Please subscribe to this channel. And with that being said, we will move on to the first fight of the night. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 4-1 Juan Camilo Ronderos versus the 6-0 Clayton Carpenter. Tim, what do you like here?
I like Carpenter to win this fight by submission. I think it's just a little bit under the 300 range on FanDuel. It's plus 270. But I actually think that his grappling edge and Ronderos on the ground just makes a lot of really bad mistakes. And I just think that the sub is going to be there. He lets people pass his guard like teenage girls. It's not really good. So I think the sub will be there. I think he'll be able to pass, probably get into a mount, and maybe even take his back. So I think the choke series will be there. Rear naked choke will be there. So yeah, I like submission for Carpenter here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that at all. I was going back and forth on this one. I think it's a pretty simple fight, to be honest, for Clayton Carpenter. He should roll here. The problem I have is I don't know how he rolls here. I could see him, honestly, completely dominating this guy, winning a 30-27. But when you watch Carpenter fight, historically, he's very aggressive moving forward, throws big punches, dangerous on the ground. He has a good ground. He's a good overall prospect, in my opinion. One of the fights, like he gets his leg chewed off. He tends to eat a lot of calf kicks for whatever reason, but I really like him, and I don't really like what I see from Juan Camilo. Like, nothing I really saw was really good, and I think in the fight that he did win against the UFC vet Eric Shelton, I think he lost that fight, to be honest. I don't know how those judges gave it to Ronderos. But anyways, I do like Clayton Carpenter here. I just don't know which way to go. So I kind of went with a different way. I went with Carpenter decision plus 310. Juan Camilo is kind of a pesky guy. He was put in like some positions against Shelton. He got out. He didn't get out against Dvorak. He subbed him with one arm. But, I mean, I could so see Carpenter subbing this guy, but I don't know what made me go decision. I think he's he's been training more at Extreme Couture. Maybe he's getting a little better. I don't know. Carpenter rolls either way. Decision is plus 310. Not something I love, but that's how I'm going to go here. Fight 2. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 9-2 AJ Fletcher versus the 10-3 newcomer Themba Garimbo. I love Fletcher in this fight, period. I think he finished this inside the distance. I think he has very good ground and pound. I think he has a good grappling game. I think he's a very stout, strong guy. And when you watch over his past 2 UFC fights, he has losses. But honestly, they've been kind of like impressive losses. Like Matt Semmelsberger fight, back and forth fight. Like he hurt Semmelsberger, he almost finished him. And when you watch Ange Lusa, and in that, I believe it was second round, how in God's green earth did he take those punches? Like Ange Lusa has one of the best chins I've ever seen to take those bombs from him. And he was still standing. Somehow he took them. I highly doubt Themba can take those shots, dude. This guy looks a little bit fragile to me. His takedown defense is awful. He plays off his back like he's some BJJ ace. Supposedly he has a black belt. I don't know from where he got it. Maybe a Cracker Jack box. I have no idea. He has a lot of subs against bums. I don't think he's going to sub Fletcher from bottom. I think Fletcher gets to his back at one point and possibly sinks in a sub. It's plus 360. I can also see a ground and pound, honestly, not KO, but I went to sub because Fletcher does hunt for subs when he's down there, tries to get your back and stuff. So give me the Fletcher submission, plus 360 here. What do you have?
I'm on the same boat right there. I like AJ to sub him. This is my only bet so far for the card is I bet early in the week the under 2.5. I just didn't get it. Like I think the last couple of fights that he had, I think they were like the unders were super juiced and everybody just was looking at him like, oh, this guy's a killer. And like you said, he fought guys that he had chances on both of them to finish and didn't. But one of them is like, I think one of them's the only one to live against Jack Della recently. Like Angelus is the only person to survive, and he just got absolutely mauled in that fight. So I mean, I agree. He's one of the most durable fighters in this weight class. So that's like you get a pass on that one. And then Semmelsberger was same thing. Like there were certain points where he was in really bad spots, and then there was transition in the third round where he got the takedown and he just swept, and it was just like that was the difference in the fight. Basically, he wasn't able to reverse at that point. He just lost. But he was like a plus 200, I think, and he was like the dog of the week that week. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I think AJ is known to be very front loaded. Goes really early at guys really, really hard, probably wins the first 2 rounds. And if he needs to grind out the third, I have him as my second leg of my parlay with Carpenter. And then I have him by sub as well. So yeah, I think those are good plays.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I know he looked winded and stuff, but I think those are a little bit high paced fights. Like I could see him in this fight basically getting on top of Themba Garimbo and just laying there and pounding him and passing. And the only thing I will say is he has very long limbs. So, I mean, throwing up a triangle or something, I could see it. I just don't think the guy is very good off his back, even though he has a lot of submissions. Like I said, they're against pretty much low level of opponents. Moving on. Fight number 3 is the light heavyweight division. It is the 26-16 Oven St. Preux versus the 15-5 Felipe, give me the juice, Lins. What do you have here, Tim?
I want to pass on this fight so hard, but I'll give you guys one. It's not a I don't know. It's not super confident. It's more like he's less shit. Lins is less shit at this point, in my opinion. And I think the juice is going to help him out and helping his chin out, and just he's significantly quicker on the feet. So I think that those are big factors. I don't know if this fight hits the ground. So give me Lynn's KO 1-2 plus 330. If you want to get greasy, it's plus 550 on KO 1 and plus 1,000 on KO 2. But just give me the KO 1-2 at plus 330. I think first 10 minutes he could deck him. And I just don't know that OSP is really in it anymore to try to do this for the right reasons and genuinely be a fighter anymore. So if it's not going his way, I think he's going to look for some counters. And if he doesn't get it and Lynn's just kind of like goes for it and kind of pushes his foot on the gas, I think he finishes him probably the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Lynn's looks like he's on something. I don't know what it is. I mean, the guy came in at 203.5. He didn't even hit 204. He easily made 205. This guy was fighting at 235, 236 at heavyweight, previously. He looks in phenomenal shape. What does that mean? I mean, he looked good last fight. He looked in good shape and still kind of gassed in the third and kind of looked like shit, to be honest, against Brachnio. He could have finished him, had him hurt, no urgency to finish. But I think he might grapple here again, to be honest. I mean, yeah, he's faster, but I think that's probably his least path of resistance, even though Ovince St. Preux is good on the ground. I do think Linz is pretty good on the ground as well. He had trouble holding down Brachnio for whatever reason, but Brachnio has pretty good get-ups. Like Ovince St. Preux at this point, man, he's old. He's like a lot slower, very, very low volume. I mean, put it this way. The guy with the split decision against Shogun Rua in a fight that I think he probably lost, okay? They gave it to him, right? I think he won. Didn't he win that fight?
He won. It was against the corpse of Shogun.
Yeah, a corpse of Shogun Rua. And I think he lost that fight, like I said. And, now he's facing a bigger dude in Philippe Linz. If Philippe Linz goes for takedowns, I'm going to go back to the well and look like an idiot. But I'm going submission again on Philippe Linz. That's what I did last time against Brachnio. That's what I'm going to do again. It's plus 750. I see him grappling again, honestly. He grappled last fight. Here's the thing. If you're going to grapple against Brachnio, why wouldn't you grapple against – I'm like Ovince St. Preux, I think, is more dangerous on the feet, has more power than Brachnio does.
Well, but St. Preux is so much more dangerous on the ground than Brachnio is.
Yeah, but not when he's on bottom.
Oh, for sure.
He's not throwing up any triangles.
No, but he's just way better with jiu-jitsu than
yes, but I think on bottom he'll have trouble. On top I agree, but I don't know. I think because Linz on the feet is hittable, dude. He's very hittable, and I don't know. I went with submission. Another one that I don't really love, but there was not much I loved in this fight in general.
Yes.
Mushroom is in the house. What is up, Mushroom? Ice Viking. What's up, sir? How you doing? And we will move on to the next fight of the night. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 18-6 Jamal Emmers versus the 23-0 Hussein Ashkabov. I will kick this one off. So I know a lot of people like Emmers in this fight. I mentioned last time, I do not like to bet on fighters with low fight IQ. And Jamal Emmers is the epitome of low fight IQ. I'm serious. He gets subbed by going, toe hold to heel hook or whatever he was trying to do against Sapadini. He gets his knee ripped apart, right? And in the fight against Giga Chikadze, instead of wrestling, you're like, let me strike with this guy. Let's see how I do striking. And he was doing fine, but why? Why don't you wrestle that guy? So guess what he's going to do here, Tim? He's probably going to try to out-grapple this guy that has all types of submissions, heel hooks, you name them. And if I can freaking bet heel hook, MGM puts him up, I'm going to bet by heel hook here. I promise you. Because this guy's not very smart. And he'll probably get himself caught in some stupid submission like that. So with that being said, I'm going to go with Ashkabov submission at plus 350. However, if this fight gets extended, I like Emmers in the later rounds. So I have bets on him already in the later rounds. But honestly, I could see this Ashkabov submitting him. The other thing you got to notice, I didn't know this, the WWFC where this guy fought, they don't allow you, once you get a takedown and you're in guard or something, they immediately stand you up. There's no you have to be in mount or some dominant position.
Isn't there a time limit? Isn't there a certain time?
Weird. I don't know. I don't know what rule it is. But every time I watched, they were standing this guy up what the heck is going on? Why is he getting takedowns then? But I guess it's a rule there. So they're not going to, if he gets Emmers down, they're not going to stand up Emmers. And honestly, this guy looks pretty fucking strong when he's taking these people down. So I could see a submission here. It's plus 350. I'm going to go with that. What do you have, Tim?
Well, you hit the other one that I'm on. I get why everybody's on Emmers this week. I haven't bet him, but I completely understand it. there seems to be like somewhat fraudish vibes on the other side. You just don't know. It could be at the end of this fight that we look at it like Emmers has him covered everywhere, and we're like his level of competition is so far greater than this dude's, and then we look back like, this was such an easy bet. And for some reason, not some reason, I know the exact reason why I haven't bet it. It's the exact reason that you just said. It's like this dude is absolutely clueless when it comes to path to victory and just fights to his opponent's path to victory so often. And it's mind-boggling. So, I mean, not only did he went for the toe hold after he knocked him down, he went down to the ground with him, and then it created all that shit. So it's like he's already beating the guy's ass on the feet. And then he goes, that's like the worst offense. If you're asking, like when you ask me, like, what can you do? I mean, like the toe hold kit thing, I get. Like, I mean, he's a dumbass for thinking that he could win that battle with him, but he chose to go to the ground with a dude who's way fucking slicker than he is. So I'm with you, man. But I do think that he's got an edge cardio wise, and I think that that's the way to go in this fight. Is if you're on him to like maybe I would prefer to bet Emmers live and see around and see how the fight goes, and then be like, attack it a little bit more aggressively on either side. Because I think he could start to take over as the fight gets going, and you could get a way, way better line after he loses round one. So round 2 is plus 1,000. Round 3 is plus 1,500 on Emmers. Those are fine. I think that taking a shot on him to be aggressive and potentially get a finish, he's a dangerous fighter. So I like it. I
just want to say one thing. Like, I get like the rumors been going around, oh, this guy has fraudish vibes and, he hasn't fought anybody. And I mean, he's fought some decent guys, like not like high level, but guys that have fought in one championship. The thing with me is he's 23-0, and he's honestly won all of his fights with like dominating fashion. The other thing is like he's skilled though. That's one thing you cannot take away from him is the fact that he can strike and he can wrestle. Like he's a skilled fighter. So you could see that on tape. It doesn't matter that this guy hasn't fought very high level of opponents. Yes, I agree that he hasn't. But when you talk about skill, I think he's pretty skilled, honestly. And he looks pretty freaking strong in the wrestling, dude. Like he's fucking suplexing guys. He looks strong. And, Emmers, again, I think he's a good fighter. I don't think he has the best fight IQ, man. He's very, very low fight IQ. So I could see it both ways, but I kind of lean the Ashkabov side, honestly. Moving on, fight number 5. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 10-7 Lena Landsberg versus the 9-2-1 Mayra Bueno Silva. What do you got here, Tim?
Only one way to go in this fight, in my opinion. End split plus 500. Lena Landsberg split 18-1. I don't get. I think Bueno Silva's I think she's solid. Like, don't get me wrong. I think she's a solid striker. I think she's a good fighter. She fights. She's a great competitor. She never quits. But like, you're talking like her most dangerous path where she's lined at plus 200 by sub is she's not gotten one takedown in her whole career, like in UFC career. So that if she does it this fight, great, but you haven't seen it yet. And then like her striking is very, very, I think it's really dangerous offensively, and she can pop. And I think she's got more power than people give her credit for. But I think she's defensively irresponsible, and she's a little bit reckless. So she's a little bit open to be hit, and she also isn't like super crazy volume. So this is just a classic like minutes versus moments, and one fighter might be doing a little bit better in the clinch than the other, and you just don't know what the fuck's going to happen. So give me split in these types of fights at 5-1 and split, and then 18-1 on Lena, just to because you're only going plus 600 on Bueno Silva if you're going her to end by split, so it's totally useless. So just do light on Lena, split 18-1, and end split at plus 500.
All right, another one that I don't really like that much, but there's somebody here that doesn't really overlook MBS's power. I think she has power in her hands. I think she can crack. Lena Landsberg is 40. I know she's tough. I know she's durable. How long is it going to last? I don't know. I'm going to take MBS here by KO. She's been working on her striking a lot lately. When you watch her Instagram, she's been doing a lot of striking, man. So I think she has power. I think she has pop. I think Landsberg tends to get hit a lot on the feet as well. I mean, Hossa was landing on her pretty well. So I think if Silva can like string together some combos, I think she could probably knock her out. And plus 700, I'm going to go with that. I don't really like much on this fight again. I mean, Bueno Silva's juiced to the gills. What I do like that's not very bad, and if you like Myro Bueno Silva, I'm going to give this one out to everybody. If you take MBS money line on DraftKings plus the over 4.5 minutes, then you get MBS at like minus 140. So I don't think that's a bad bet. I don't think she's going to get Landsberg out of there within the first round. So you're basically getting MBS at minus 140, in my opinion. So not a bad bet.
That's a great play.
Those are my SGPs that I love. Moving on. Fight number 6. It is the 7-1 Nazim Sadikov versus the 7-1 Evan Elder. And I will kick this one off. I like the Elder side in this fight. I know a lot of people are high in the Sadikov guy, and I understand he looked good in the Dana White's Contender Series, good striking, actually decent grappling. But, in a couple of these fights that I watched, Tim, he's facing this guy that's 0-3 that I kind of know from Fury FC, Juan Carlos de Leon. He's getting held up on the cage for a long time. He even got taken down once on his butt. He managed to get back up. John Herrera took him down once or twice in that fight. So basically what I see is like he can be taken down. Evan Elder, to be honest, impressed me on short notice, up a weight class at 170 against a huge guy in Preston Parsons, who looked maybe 2 weight classes bigger than him. And he survived a pretty big beating. He even reversed sometimes on the ground. He didn't shoot any takedowns just because I don't think he knew he's not going to take Preston Parsons down. He's a good wrestler. He's huge. He for sure knew he wasn't going to have success. But in his one interview, I heard him say, Sadikov, great striker. He's got very good striking in and out, very good footwork, blah, blah, blah. But he does have weaknesses, and we have already planned to take advantage of those weaknesses, which I'm assuming is his wrestling, because I think he can get taken down. And Elder is going to be a strong guy at 55, and he's been training for a while at Kill Cliff now, and he's grappling against, killers over there. So I like the Evan Elder by submission, plus 1,700. And I got one more nugget for everybody. This is only for the people that are going to watch this and they're in chat. There's a guy that always comes on my live spaces. His name is Skirpy. I think you know who he is. He trains over there with Sadikov. He knows all these guys. He grapples with them. And he always said Sadikov's jiu-jitsu, when he gets grounded, is on his back, is fucking terrible. He always said that, and he grapples over there. He grapples with Aljamain. He knows all those guys. So that's what he said. I see kind of a lack of, he gets taken down. So I'm going to go with Evan Elder, submission, plus 1,700, Tim. I'm shooting for the moon. What do you like here?
I just want to let you know that I get sometimes I'll be just have a little no take on a fight. I pretty much just sometimes just no read or whatever. And then you'll say something like this and I'll look down, you'll see me look down and I'll just be like, yeah, I'm betting this. At that moment, I'm betting this. But so I'm like, I just bet that. I love that. I just think that's a great way to go. Mine is different. I think that this is actually again, I'm not super, super confident in this, but this is the way that I see this fight going, more often in my brain. I think this fight is really close. I think the fight goes to decision most of the time. And I think that Elder can win a really, really close decision. So I like the Elder points is plus 420. End split is 600 plus 600. So I'll just do like the Elder points and the Elder split. So Elder split is plus 1400, and then the Elder points is plus 420. So I think it could be really close. I think I wouldn't be shocked either way. So like end split plus 600 is really good too. So I'll probably bet that myself as well. But I just think it could be really close. And I think that the fight does go to decision, but that doesn't mean that I won't take a shot on your plus 1700.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Sadikov to me is the much better striker. But I do think that there's going to be a not a huge strength advantage, but I think Elder's going to be the stronger guy in the grappling wrestling. And I think he has a wrestling background. Like I said, he's been training at Killcliff. I think he can land takedowns. He lands a lot of takedowns in his regional tape. So
Sadikov gives up his back, like you said, too, man. Like there's lots of like for me, it's like one of those huge red flags that you get a guy that one of his losses is by submission. You're like, you have another guy that wrestles a lot and grapples a lot. That's his edge. And then you're giving a plus fucking 1500, plus 1700 by submission. So I think that's a great bet. That's why I bet it instantaneously.
Yeah. I mean, the way, when that guy Skirpy, I know him, like I've known him for a while now. He's not lying. He grapples over there. And he says that this guy, Sadikov, is terrible when it comes to jiu-jitsu. So take it for what it is. I think that guy's a purple belt. And if he's thinking this guy's terrible, I don't know. He might be a ultra white belt. I don't know. But yeah, let's move on here. That was a little nugget that I had. I think it's important based on what someone has said to me. Moving on, fight number 7. It is in the welterweight division. It is it's in the lightweight division. It is the 35-16 Jim Miller versus the 13-6 Alexander Hernandez. What do you have here, Tim?
Oh, this is such a beauty, isn't it? Well, Jim Miller has been like a cash cow for us on this station here, this channel. I'm not going away from him. I also have been a cash cow against Alex, not the great Hernandez. So yeah, like Moicano had Moicano by sub against it. Like he just quits, man. Like there's a certain period of time when if Alex Hernandez does not get his way, he takes his ball and he goes home. Now this is a fight that's kind of like, I do think it's possible that maybe he tries to gut out a decision and just wrestle and lay on Jim, and maybe he can do that after Jim gets tired too. But I'm leaning more that they both go at each other for a while and that Alex tries to wrestle in the first round and that Jim connects in the second on either a submission is 17-1, KO2 is 31-1. So round 2 is just plus 1100. Those are all beautiful to me. I think those are all really good. I could see him doing any one. Most of Jim Miller's last few wins have been in round 2, and a lot of Alex's round losses. I think Alex has four losses in round 2. So seems like a basic round 2 at 1100. Yeah, I'll take a shot at that.
Yeah, I mean, I already bet that a while ago. I saw that and I was like, you just have to bet round 2, even round 3 against a guy like Hernandez because he doesn't like adversity. He folds at the first sign of adversity. He folded against Corntillo at the first. And, somebody on Twitter, I don't remember who it was, but was saying, this is a great spot for Hernandez and, Jim Miller's old. And then I mentioned to him, I'm like, hey, don't forget one thing. One guy's actually pretty decent at facing adversity. The other guy just runs out the door when he faces adversity. So I do think that Hernandez can spark Miller early. Miller's been getting hurt, man. Like he got hurt. Let me go back and look his last couple opponents. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so not Cerrone fight, but Moda hurt him bad. Gonzalez hurt him bad. Hernandez hits very, very hard in the first round, especially. And I honestly think he can get Miller out of there in the first round. However, for my Lambo play, I'm not going to go. I mean, it's a bet that I made. So it's Miller round 2. It's plus 1100, but you need to, like we always say, you need to sprinkle round 3 at plus 1900 because it can happen, and if Miller decides to push, not that he has the best gas tank, But I just think he can push through adversity a lot better than Alex Hernandez can. But honestly, I'm round 1 KO for Hernandez might be a good bet. I don't know. What is it?
What round 1?
KO, yeah. What is it?
Let me check.
Oh, it's a shitty line. God. Plus 320. They're on it. They're freaking on it.
This is so terrible.
I think, yeah, it's a terrible line, but I think it's it's probably terrible for a reason, man. Because this guy comes out like a bat out of hell, and Jim Miller is kind of a slow starter. Like, he gets buzzed a lot early. So, moving on. Fight number 8. It is in the light heavyweight division. It is the 11-4 William Knight versus the 15-6 Marcin Brachnio. I got a bet on this already. It's Brachnio by decision. It's plus 480 on Bet Rivers. And my reasoning is volume. I think he could stay on the outside. He can land the leg kicks. We already saw Maxim Grishin, what he did to William Knight with the leg kicks. He absolutely destroyed his legs. And Brachnio is a very good kick game. So the only thing I think Brachnio has to worry about is basically the explosive big power punches from Knight. And Knight would probably shoot a takedown or 2 or 3 here and maybe have success getting him down. I don't think he's going to hold him down. Like, Lins couldn't hold him down. I don't think Knight is not like some good control wrestler or anything. Guy is just powerful and explosive. So I'm going to go with Brachnio decision plus 480. I think he's the side to be honest in general here. He's just the more skilled fighter. Like, if you just look at athleticism, explosiveness, it's all William Knight, and durability. It's all William Knight. But striking and grappling, I guess I can give it to William Knight, but not that he's a good grappler, okay? But the striking is for sure Brachnio. The guys faced a better opposition is for sure Brachnio. And to be honest, like, I was expecting William Knight to miss weight. He didn't. He looked shredded at 205. But it doesn't mean he's not going to gas either. Like, I don't think he has a great gas tank. He has too much muscle, man. And both guys don't have a great gas tank. But I'm going to go with Brachnio decision plus 480. I think he can really fuck up those legs, man, with the leg kicks. What do you got here?
So I think, I'm not super confident in this fight. I think Knight KOs him, to be honest. I think that he just like you're saying, I don't disagree. If I were on Brachnio, I would be on the points. But I don't think that. I think that Knight can KO him. I think that he can catch him. I think that the Brachnio chin could show right back up again, and we'd be like, oh yeah, he just barely connected and he bonked him and he's dead. So round 1 KO is plus 500. Round 2 KO is plus 750. I think it's earlier. I don't think that he's going to catch his, going to keep his power at round 3 most likely. So I'll take the shot on those. My spidey sense has a weird, like, if he gets a takedown on Brachnio, I would not be shocked if he like wrapped up some type of I'm just so much stronger than everybody you've ever fought submission at plus 1600. Like, who was the guy, Trayshawn Gore, that did that recently, where he just ripped the dude's neck off, and you're like, oh, the other guy was supposed to get the sub. You're like, no, he's just freakishly stronger than the other guy, and he just broke his neck. So I think that might be possible because William Knight seems to be kind of freakishly strong. So yeah, but KO 1 plus 500, KO 2 is plus 750. But if you like Grease, the 1600 spidey sense is telling me sub for some reason. Yeah,
that's possible too. If he gets a hold of that neck with those big biceps, it's done.
That's all it is.
He might squeeze his brains out if he fucking squeezes hard.
His eyeballs pop
out. But yeah, I seen a comment out there. Only 14 likes and there's 63 of you in here. What's going on? There's a thing scrolling on the bottom that says, please hit the like and subscribe. All we give you guys is freaking big money prop winners. 4 of them last week, by the way. 4 big money props last week on this show. So please hit the like, subscribe, and we will move on. Fight number 9. It is in the heavyweight division. It is the 15-5 Josh Parisian versus the 9-3 Jamal Pogues. What do you got here, Tim?
Well, Pogues is just an interesting beast, man. Like, the guy's got a game plan that if you wouldn't have watched the last fight in the Dana White Contender Series, you'd say, oh shit, like this is a great matchup for him. He's going to just ragdoll Parisian and just throw him all over the place and wrestle and whatever. It's going to be great. It's going to be lay the juice. But then if you watch, as soon as you watch the Dana White Contender Series, you're thinking like, what is this guy doing? Like, this is not what he hasn't done this at all. And this is not his game. And now he's just pumping out jabs and he's not really going for the kill. And it's Dana White Contender Series. And the previous time I think he did wrestle is previous when he didn't make it. And so you would think like, if I'm standing, I'm going to fucking go for everything. And he didn't do that either. So it was just like really unimpressive on his Contender Series fight for me. But at the same time, I think I still like the matchup for him if he does his normal thing and goes for takedowns. I think they'll be there. I think Parisian is just absolute dog shit off of his back. So I like it for the pick would be like, I think that it's more of like a kind of round 3 or points type of situation for Pogues, that he either kind of grinds him out and maybe just eventually, just finishes him in round 3 or gets the points. And I wouldn't hate the submission prop on him either. I think that's just, again, I think the decision making for Parisian and what he tries to do off of his back is just, he's puts himself in horrible spots. So I think that those are all pretty solid spots for Pogues. Like I there's no way that I can get to a Parisian bet after watching the Don'Tale Mayes fight. Like I just think that this dude could be way, way, way better than Don'Tale Mayes after watching him fight Hamdy. And so yeah, I'm on the Pogue side. How about you?
Yeah, I'm also on the Pogue side, but I would caution people to lay this line of minus 250 with Pogues, just because first off, this guy's a 205er. He's not a heavyweight. He's fought at 205 his entire career outside of like the Dana White's Contender Series fight where he fought at heavyweight against the Brazilian guy who also was a 205er, wasn't a real heavyweight. And what does he do there? He decides to stand for 15 minutes against a kickboxer. That guy was a kickboxer. So here, the issue I have, Tim, here in this fight is if he decides to wrestle, is he going to have success getting this mammoth of a guy down like Josh Parisian? And if he doesn't, right, he was kind of like, he showed decent cardio, but he was kind of tired from a 15-minute striking match in the Dana White's Contender Series. Whether it be that he didn't train a lot of cardio because he's moving up to heavyweight, I don't know. But I saw that. And the one other thing that kind of catches my eye is after the Dana White's Contender Series fight, he goes on Instagram, I believe, and says, I can't wait to get back down to 205. That's where I belong. That's where I'm going to fight in the UFC, right? But he's at heavyweight again. Why? This guy is undersized for heavyweight. I know he's tall, but if you look like his build, if you look at Josh Parisian, him at face-offs, like Josh Parisian just looks like the way bigger guy, at face-offs. He's just not wide. He's kind of like all of the weight went into his belly. If you see how he looks now, like it's like balloon, like a beer belly almost. So that's the only thing I'm scared of. But if he gets the fight to the ground, dude, this guy is a black belt in BJJ. He's good on the ground. You see like him going for submissions, constantly attacking for submissions on the regional, on LFA, so Pogues by submission is plus 800. Parisian is not very good down there, dude. I could see him submitting Parisian on the ground if he gets it there. So I think he's probably going to get it there at some point and have an attempt or two at a submission. And it's for a gigantic number at plus 800. I bet it earlier in the week at plus 900. It went down a little. I still think plus 800 is pretty generous.
That's my pick too. I think if you look and combine what I was saying earlier too, that it could probably be that he kind of breaks him over time too with this. and that he just, he could. I mean, could it be that he insta subs him in round one? Possibly, yes. But I definitely would see him breaking him more. And as Parisian gets tired, and the takedowns will come easier, and then the transitions will come way easier, and he'll probably give up his back, and he'll just choke him out. So
he has 3 in the amateurs and only 1 in pros. So I mean, he knows he goes for them.
So I think it's like 36-1 on sub 3, 21-1 on sub 2. So those, like, if you're taking 7-1, like, generally on your bet, and then put like a little bit on those is just like a sprinkle.
I'm probably going to sprinkle those too now that you mention them. Round 2, round 3. So I think the more tired Parisian gets,
it's just dog shit.
The takedown might come easier, and the submission might come easier. So
his quit game comes out really, really quickly.
I like Pogues. Like, his striking is good. He's got good grappling. The only thing is I don't like him at heavyweight. That's the only thing. I don't like him where he's at, because he's gonna be at a substantial disadvantage. Like right here, Parisian, he weighed 266. I guarantee you had to lose a lot of weight to get there. And tomorrow in the ring, he's gonna be freaking 285. And Pogues is gonna be basically what he weighed. That's it. 240, right? So he's going to have like literally a 50-pound advantage here, 45-pound advantage. So it is what it is. We'll move on to the co-main event of the night. It is in the light heavyweight division. It is the 5-1 Zach Pauga versus the 12-4 Jordan Wright. He's back, Tim. Jordan Wright is back, and I'm back on the saddle with Jordan Wright by KO, round 1, plus 750. That's it. I mean, Jordan Wright is round 1 or bust. He goes crazy. He can hurt anybody. This guy, Pauga, just got knocked out by Usman's brother. He might get knocked out again by Jordan Wright in the first round. He's going to be a far faster guy in there. So I could see him landing something crazy early and knocking Pauga out. So give me Wright round 1, plus 750. That's it.
All right. I don't hate it. I think I might eventually have like a hedge play on it, but I think Pauga gets him out in 2, maybe 3. He's not like Pauga's usually like a big time decisionator, like not a crazy finisher. He is going to be the bigger dude, and this is his normal weight class, and this is not Jordan Wright's normal weight class. So maybe that helps Jordan, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I think it usually means that people are going to get fucked up all that much more by the more powerful punchers that are up in the next weight class. He didn't have problems like making weight or cutting certain weight. He just was chinny as fuck and has no cardio. So yeah, I mean, I think he's got like you said. I think that like there's also like what is him like winning in the first 60 seconds of that fight, like that's like his game plan. Like if he wins in the first minute and 30 seconds of this fight, he's probably got 2 solid minutes, 2.5 minutes solid to get the kill. So outside of that, I think it's Pauga, and I just think that I'm banking on the fact that Pauga hasn't been a finisher, and I'll go round 2, but like we do, and it's also not KO 2 because it's only 50 cents cheaper. So it would just be round 2 is plus 600, and then round 3 is plus 1,400.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly love that, because this is the way you attack the fight. You go round 1. He can, don't get me wrong, Pauga can knock him out in round 1 too, but you go kind of like with Wright round 1, and then you finish it with round 2, round 3, probably round 2 Pauga. Honestly, I don't know if this freaking guy's gonna last to round 3, but yeah,
only if he grapples. I think round 2 can last if he gets a takedown or something, luckily early, but I think it's very low level or low percentage. Sorry.
All right, let's move on to the main event of the night. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 24-9 Jessica Andrade versus the 10-1 Aaron Blanchfield. Tim, kick this one off.
All right, so I don't know, man. I still have not picked this fight yet. I still in my brain have not made a decision. It's been driving me crazy all week long. Here's my thing. Like, I think that this fight for me is the same as what I was talking about with the Emmers fight. Like, pre-fight, to me, the money line is just clear Andrade. Like, I don't, especially at where it's at right now. But I haven't bet it, and when people were asking me last week what I thought the line would be, I was like minus 200 on Andrade. Like, I just thought just from who she's fought, I just get the whole thing, and then I just start thinking about it more and more. There's just too many questions completely everywhere in this fight. Like, I think there's questions on does Blanchfield have the cardio to go 5 rounds and have her style go 5 rounds? We'll see. It's very possible. Does Blanchfield's striking, has it gotten significantly better since their last fight, which is very possible. She's improving every single fight. She's super young. I love Blanchfield too. So like both of these fighters I fucking love and have been very, very, very good to me in my bankroll. So it's really hard for me to pick on this one because I can see both have – it's kind of binary to me. I don't think that Andrade is dead on the ground, but I do think that the takedowns are there. She's got like 73% takedown defense, and I do think that her size and her style of fighting is not the size and it's not the style of fighting as JJ Aldrich, who has a similar takedown defense percentage-wise to Andrade. Aldridge is bigger, and she also is not as reckless coming into the pocket, throwing as many shots, allowing level changes and allowing basically body locks. And that's where Valentina just killed her. So I think that, body locks in the Valentina fight where they transitioned to her getting 7 takedowns, but at the same time, Andrade got up 6 times against Valentina. So if you're telling me that there's a guarantee, like everybody's saying, that Blanchfield's going to just hold her down and have no issues grappling because of her size and her jiu-jitsu, like then you're saying like she's going to be way, way, way better than what Valentina did. And it's like, I don't know. Let's wait. It's kind of a question again to me. And then you flip it over to the Andrade side and you're like, what's up with her hand? Like she's got the tape on her hand. She just literally beat the living dog shit out of Lauren Murphy, like over 200 strikes, mostly rights, just drilling her in the head. Like, is it possible that she has like a metacarpal kind of fracture or something, sprain or something that's like limits her at all? I mean, possibly. She also gets a huge contract for this. I don't know, man. It's really my brain is telling me that I think that she'll be able to, that Andrade will be able to stuff the takedowns and she'll nuke her. But I at the same time, I could think that she could easily get taken down and subbed. So my Lambo play, because I have to take a shot on something and I have to make a pick, is it's going to be Blanchfield by sub. And I'm not super confident on it, but it's probably going to be something that if I'm doing well in the day, and I'm going to probably have a little bit of piece of that. And I do think that that's a very viable option to win if she has her path and she has her way. I think the sub is very likely. And I think that there's just so many questions on Andrade with short notice, 4 weeks, just fought 4 weeks ago, all these different things. I have so many questions on this fight. So like the Emmers fight, from a money line standpoint, I think I'm just going to wait and watch the first round, or wait and watch 3-4 minutes and then really attack then and sacrifice. I don't even care if I'm sacrificing $1 on the line at that point, but having a little bit of knowledge on what I'm seeing. I think I'm going to do that on the money line. And then I think if I'm touching any prop, I don't like the KO prop versus for Andrade, I would just touch her money line. So I think the Lambo play is a clear plus 500 or plus 460 is where it's at now on Blanchfield by sub.
Yeah, I mean, great breakdown. I mean, that was you went back and forth, great breakdown. I like the Blanchfield side, man. I when you got a fight like this where it's grappler versus striker has a significant advantage on the feet. I do think Blanchfield has a big advantage on the ground. She's just so good when she's on top, man. Like, she looks very good on top. It's not like what's her name's never been subbed. She's been subbed. Andrade. She is a black belt, but on bottom, she could possibly get up. But what I saw, Tim, in the Murphy fight is, people are always saying, can Blanchfield get takedowns here? And my reasoning is, don't go back and just watch the Aldrich fight and say, oh, she didn't get takedowns there. That was a, terrible sign. But you got to understand, Aldrich is not a a striker that sits down on her punches and throwing big shots that keep her out of position so that takedowns can come. Andrade is. She's throwing big bombs, and if they miss, she can easily get a takedown. And Murphy got 2 of them. If you go watch the fight, they didn't count because she couldn't keep her like actual down. And literally Andrade gave up her back both times standing up. Like she was with her hands on the ground going to stand up. And I think if she does that against Blanchfield, she's going to get her back taken. And that's the thing here. It's a girl that overthrows big punches that will put her in a position to be out of position so that Blanchfield could get takedowns. That's where the takedowns are going to come from. The other thing is, this girl was vacationing with her mom when she got this call, right? She's clearly not training for a 5-round fight in the UFC. 2, the hand thing. What is that? I don't know. But I can tell you that 3.5 weeks ago, she threw 231. She landed 231 strikes to Lauren Murphy's dome. Okay. And is she recovered from that? Is her hand recovered? Because she absolutely destroyed Lauren Murphy there. So I don't know, dude. Everything to me, to be honest, favors Blanchfield. She's the younger fighter. She's the grappler here. She's been training for this 5-round fight. Everything points to Blanchfield. The side that points to Andrade is the power, and she's the better striker, in my opinion, by far. So, but is Blanchfield just going to stand with this girl for 25 minutes? I doubt it, dude. Like, she's going to go for takedowns.
What if Blanchfield's crazy Drew Dober fucking durable too? We don't know. Another question.
We don't know. That we don't know. That we don't know. But that won't matter, to be honest, because if she stands for 25 minutes, she's gonna absolutely.
No, I'm not saying. Well, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is it changes the dynamic tremendously because you have then she can take a shot, take a couple, and then she can actually then level change and be okay. Where most people, when they get hit by Andrade, shit their pants and panic. And then they start to give her the chance to actually barrage them and go full rabies on them. So I think if the durability of the people who have not been like intimidated by the power of Andrade have been people that have beaten Andrade. And those, and if the durability, again, it's a huge question to me about Blanchfield, where it's like, if she's durable, to me, that changes the fight tremendously. So if she takes the first couple shots early and then she's like, doesn't change her dynamic at all, that's like a huge thing for me that I'm like, okay, I'm going to be firing more on her. And that's going to be one of the things I'm going to be looking for.
I mean, I see what you're saying. That's a question mark too. Like, we don't know how durable she is. Can she take a lot of shots? And then if she can, she'll still be in the fight in order to get takedowns, which obviously makes sense. But yeah, man, I like what I see from Blanchfield on the ground. You know, Andrade hasn't really fought grapplers of late, man. Who has grappled her? Lauren
Just
Murphy?
Valentina.
Nobody, yeah, except Valentina. I mean, Chukugian, Nami Yunus, Weili Zhang knocked her out right away. Again, Nami Yunus, Carolina. Like, the last one was before that was Tisha. I think she got Tisha down a bunch, but I think Tisha got a couple takedowns too.
I think she was 0 for like 7.
Tisha was 0 for 7?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Gedalia too didn't have success against.
No, Tisha had 2 takedowns. I knew.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I think look at Gedalia.
2 for 2.
Look at Gedalia. I think she was 0 for 7.
Yeah, Gedalia, but Gedalia sucks. Come on. Gedalia's terrible. 0 for 7. Yeah, Gedalia sucks. But yeah, I mean, either way, I don't think she's faced a lot of great grapplers of late. So this is going to be a grappler. I promise you. She's going to go for takedowns unless she nukes her early. So, yeah. I mean, give me Blanchfield ITD. That's what I like for my Lambo play. It's plus 330. I don't want to pick because I do think a positional TKO is possible. Yep. So, and not to mention, it's 5 rounds, dude. I don't know where the cardio's at this point. She didn't train for this. She literally did not train for this fight.
Yeah, so, like that. If it hits round 3 and she hasn't gotten nuked and there's at all like any success at all grappling, like you have to give major advantage to Aaron at that point. Yeah, for sure. Anyways, that's all
11 fights. Is it 11 or 12? 11, right? Yeah, that's all 11 fights. Time to give you our Lambo parlay. I will give you mine. My Lambo parlay is going to be Ashkabov, submission. Blanchfield, ITD. Fletcher, ITD. Now, that one pays, I want to say like, I'm not sure, it's like 60 with one or whatever. Maybe a little more. If you want to get greasier, add Brachnio decision, and you get like anywhere from like 160 to 230, depending on what book you use. So
Ashkabov by sub.
Add Ashkabov by sub, Blanchfield ITD, Fletcher ITD. And then if you want to add one, add Brachnio decision and get crazy.
Wow. Cool. I'm going to go Clayton Carpenter by submission, Fletcher by submission, Blanchfield inside the distance is 57-1.
What was the second one? Carpenter submission?
Fletcher submission.
Fletcher submission. Oh, not bad. I might hit that one. All right. Yeah, that's about it. Freaking 63 of you still in here. Shout out to all of you. Thank you for hanging out with us on a Friday night. David Dean is in here. Mushroom is still in here. Mew? I think it's Mew is in here as well. So Wheezy, Uncle Wheezy making an appearance. What is up, Uncle Wheezy? Yes, we are both on Fletcher. You know, to be honest, I'm going to say this before I even shut this down. Tim, the Fletcher Garimbo under 2.5 feels exactly like last week's fight.
Malarkey?
Huh? Malarkey.
Yes. Yeah, I'll do that.
Everybody is on the under 2.5 for Fletcher and Garimbo. And I just feel like, what do we call it? The mush of the week. That's what I feel like. And I have a bet on it, but I feel like this is the mush of the week as well. So it is what it is. On your way out, guys, please hit the like. Please subscribe to the channel. 65 of you in here. I should have a minimum of 65 likes there, right? Please. Tim, tell them where they can find you, what you have going on. Do you have spaces tomorrow, Sean?
No spaces. He's out of town tomorrow, so we'll just be meeting you at the live spaces for the card.
All right, boys. Yep, live spaces tomorrow during the card. We've been absolutely killing the live bets. Shout out to everybody that goes on the live spaces. We had almost over 200 people last week, so it was insanity. It was rocking and rolling. But yeah, guys, see you guys tomorrow on live spaces, and let's cash those freaking